Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jay. Welcome back. So we got some more data that has came out recently. So this is like, well, this one here is like the win rate data, and this is like an updated character counts. So I want to like just go over these and give my thoughts for a minute. So as we can see, so with the updated character counts, and of course, keep in mind that this is like a sample size, but the only thing that I care about is like what my character is right now, which is Xiao Yu. So I am happy to see that it looks like she's climbed up quite a bit. She's now number 22. Is he 22? Yeah, Xiao Yu's now number 22, where she was at one point at number 26, I believe, last time. Like in my last video, she was at number 26. So Xiao Yu did come up a little bit, so that does look quite a little, like a little bit promising. If I had to guess why, it's probably because some people claim that she's top five, which I think is a complete falsity or fallacy, whatever. Um, but I am happy to see that she's climbing up. I mean, that's always good to see your character go up a little bit. Who's first right now? Yeah, so Reina still have the top spot. Kane is number two. Kane, Jin, Dragunov dropped down to four, but yeah, the top four, Reina, Kane, Jin, and Dragunov, they've always been like fighting back and forth. Like they always were in the top four from what I've seen in the past Tekken 8 usage data. So that's interesting. Harong has climbed up quite a bit for some reason. June climbed up, I think, in the top 10. Wasn't she like number 11 or 12 last time? Now she's at number 9, I think. Is it 9? Yeah, June's at number 9. That's pretty cool to see. Yoshimitsu is actually in the top 10. I think the Yoshimitsu one, honestly, is the most remarkable because I remember all throughout Tekken 7, he like was like in the bottom, was it the bottom 5? Maybe the bottom 10. Maybe the bottom 10. But he wasn't that high up at all. He was always really low. So to see Yoshimitsu in the top 10, that's actually really amazing, really outstanding, and it makes me get more hope for that when Lei Wulong comes back, if they play their cards right, like if they give him a really cool looking design as well as a pretty decent gameplay, maybe Lei Wulong could be in the top 10, but yeah. So yeah, that's how I feel about the character counts right now. So it's interesting to see that. I also want to talk about the win rate. So this is even more interesting to me, at least. So it's always fun to see who's winning. So the characters that are, let me see. So it goes up to the highest person. Oh yeah, so the highest win rate is 55%. So yeah, so let's start off with who has the highest. So Fang has the highest win rate, and I believe that's for a few reasons. I mean, Fang has always been a consistently strong character, and he's not that hard to play. I mean, the guy has an answer for everything, in my opinion. Um, Claudio is he this character. I don't. This character is really interesting. He has that crazy hop kick that just hits you from a mile away, and as well as he takes a whole bunch of damage from his like moves and strings. Claudio has a lot of moves that he gets a lot of damage from, and I think his most like overpowered attack, honestly, besides the hop kick, is that while running two. That move is ridiculously strong because when it hits you, it takes a big chunk of damage, and on block, like it leaves him in plus frames on block, I believe. I know it did in Tekken 7. I'm not too sure about Tekken 8 changes, but I can't imagine that they would change it because from my understanding, it does chip damage on block. So that while running two, and it's really, you can duck it, but it's really fast. You really have to be on point with your timing, and it's really hard to sidestep it, at least from my experience. Um, Jack 8 being number 3, that's actually surprising. I mean, I guess because Jack isn't used a whole lot, and he kind of has his own. He's kind of honest, but he has his own gimmicks, like his own like those long ass arms, and he has his little tricks and his game of tricks and stuff. Panda is kind of the same way. You know, but where's Kuma? Kuma, why is Panda and Kuma so far apart? Like Panda's number 4, Kuma is like number 8. When I would expect them to be like neck and neck. Guess not. I guess the more skilled players play Panda. Because I don't think there's much different from these two characters aside from like one or two moves they get from their owners. So let's look at who's at the bottom. So Reina being at the bottom is actually very surprising for me because I've seen so many Reinas and they've been successful in beating me because mainly because I didn't have knowledge of the matchup as much. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that she's this low. I mean, I do hear that she's a very complex character with a lot going on. I mean, I guess because like she has quite a bit of stances and different transitions, and there is some execution involved if you want it. Like she has like a lot of abusable things as well. But I mean, I think it's just because she's a new character kind of, and she does require you to think, and she does have a lot going on. But I still would not expect her to be this low at all. Like she's at her win rate that's like 45%, and just the lowest in the game. That is very surprising to me. Steve being the second lowest in the game, not surprising. Steve is like super complicated to play. One of the highest execute, I think, out of all the combos in the game, like staple bread and butter combos. I think Steve's might be the hardest out of everyone. Like they're not impossible to do, but they are quite difficult for a bread and butter combo. The only one that might kind of give him competition with execution is Lee Chaolan, who has the same problem. But I would say Steve has better damage. Not better. I don't know about better damage, but he has way better frames than Lei. I mean than Lee. Did I say Lei? I meant Lee Chaolan. Lee. But yeah, I'm not surprised to see Lee this low. As far as Asuka, Lily, and Leroy, I actually am very surprised to see them that low because they are not overpowered characters, but relatively good characters that are quite easy to use. Like I think on a scale of 1 to 10, or 1 to 5, I would say on a scale of 1 to 5 in difficulty, I feel like Leroy, Lily, and Asuka will all be at a 1 at difficulty. There's not really a lot. I mean, there's things to learn and stuff, but I mean, they're very spammable, especially Asuka and Leroy. They're very no execution involved. Very, I don't know, just very easy to be successful with. So I'm really surprised to see them like in the bottom 5. I don't get that one. Maybe it's because people just know the matchup, and maybe it's also because like every character in this game it seems to have a lot of overpowered stuff. So maybe that's a factor. Kazuya being in the bottom 6, not surprised there. He was like in bottom 5 in Tekken 7. Xiao Yu being at bottom 7. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that she has one of the lower win rates. I'm not surprised about that. I'm just surprised about some of the characters with the win rate lower than hers. I am surprised that her win rate is higher than Asuka, Lily's, and Leroy's. That is like very shocking to me. But I'm not surprised to see that she is quite low. But she is higher than she was in Tekken 7. Like in Tekken 7, I think she was like bottom 4 or 5. So she was definitely in the bottom 5. But I can't remember her exact. I know she was somewhere down there. But yeah, I mean Xiao Yu is a very complicated character to play. She's not a pick up and play character. Like she's not really spammable. She's not really spammable like that. Like people can talk about her stances like AOP, Rain Dance, and Hypnotist, but those stances leave her very vulnerable in very unsafe positions. And so I mean I don't know what Xiao Yu's you guys are playing to, where some of you think that she's just overpowered. But when I play Xiao Yu, people are always jabbing me out of my stances or either launching me out of my stances. Like I'm always getting blown up like in launch and stuff. So, and I'm a pretty good player. Like I'm a flame ruler rank, so I know what I'm doing. So yeah, but her being here, I'm not surprised. Like she is a hard character to win with. You really have to think and use strategy. And she does have some substantial weaknesses, which are mainly her range. We have the worst range in the game, as well as having the worst. Does she have the worst approach? It's a pretty bad approach. She doesn't have the best approach tools. She doesn't have many plus frames to work with, and she her tracking isn't the best, and her damage in the neutral is not that great. Her combo damage has improved, but damage in the neutral is one of the lowest, if not the lowest. But yeah, that's Xiao Yu. Who else? Anyone else I'm surprised about? I feel like Raven, Leo, Dragunov are where they need to be. I would have expected Victor to be a little bit higher. Um, that guy seems like the most spammable character in the game. Like it just seems like I don't know what you Victor players do, but it's like whenever I'm fighting against Victors, like people are just pressing buttons and doing things, but it just never stops, and it's just teleportation, then guns, then scratching me with the knife, then teleport into my freaking face or whatever. Like a crap show. Um, who else? I would have expected June to be a little bit higher. Like I think she's like right at the bottom half, like in the beginning of the bottom half. I also would have expected as a Sana to be a little bit higher. Um, yeah, King. I would expect King to be higher. I think that King is very strong in this game, especially with the buff they did the throws, like with like was is it counter hit throws? Like you can't break counter hit throws, and just some you can't break certain throws in heat. I know for some characters that might apply to King as well, and King is like a lot of damage, so I would expect King to be a little bit higher. But I do understand he's very complex. He has like I know in Tekken 7 he wasn't did he have like the most moves in the whole entire game out of everyone. Like he had a lot of moves. Like he had more than Xiao Yu and Lei. Um, so yeah, he's very complex, a lot to take in, and he's really good, but he does have some weaknesses. I feel, which is mainly like he could be quite slow, and quite what's the other one? I don't know, just not the quickest character. He does have a certain level of honesty, I would say. Um, but yeah, so besides that, I'm not surprised to see Jin where he is. He's in the bottom eight. Um, he's always been a relatively honest character, but he has been buffed quite a bit, and the gameplay barrier for him, or the skill for him, has been lowered quite a bit. So I'm definitely not surprised to see him a little bit higher than he was in Tekken 7. Because in Tekken 7 he was like bottom four, I think. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Those are all the characters I really care about. Um, yeah, so those are my thoughts. So these are the winner rates. Let me know what you guys think. I do want to make this. I do want to make this one last comment though, because like I know the pro players say things like, "Who are the top five characters in the game?" Well, the top five characters in the game, according to Arslan, Ash, and Nee, as of recently, I don't know if they changed it this week because it seems like they change it every other week. But those characters were Xiao Yu, June, Dragunov, Fang, Azucena, and Devil Jin. And if you look at this, they're the so-called top five S tier characters. They're not, with the exception of Fang and yeah, with the exception of Fang, they're not in the top five. I mean, Double J is number 6. But just to let you know that, but June and Xiao Yu are both like in the bottom half, and Dragunov is like in the top 10 winner rates. But just the whole point is, don't let tier. I mean, I guess Fang being number 1, I guess it doesn't really support the point I'm trying to make right now. I mean, Fang is Fang. You know what? Forget what I was going to say. Just know that just because a character may be considered top tier, even though you can't really prove it, it's going to differ for everybody. But just because a character may be considered top tier on paper, it doesn't mean that they're always going to be like. That doesn't mean they're going to have the highest winner rates. Although this winner rate thing with Fang being at the top, it really is not doing me any justice. But yeah, I'm done. I'm out. Thanks for watching.